The wedding hall was silent, not because the bride looked stunning in her lace gown. She did. Not because the groom stood tall and handsome beside her. He did. The silence came from the projector screen, flickering above them, where the MC by mistake or by mischief had connected YouTube. And there it was, a compilation titled Lady Chichi versus Men, Greatest Hits. The crowd gasped. The video rolled through her old tweets, her savage captions, her bitter Facebook lives. If your boyfriend's mother is alive, break up with him immediately. Men are like Indomie, cheap, fast, and overrated. Any man who loves his family more than you, damn him. The bride froze. The groom's mother covered her mouth in horror. The groom himself stared at her like she was a stranger. And just like that, in the middle of her dream wedding, Chantal Mensah, aka Lady Chichi, came face to face with the one lesson she always mocked: the internet never forgets. Let me take you back to how it all began. In Bright Future University, ordinary girls came to study, but not Chantal Mensah. No, this girl came to trend. Forget lectures. Chantal knew the Wi-Fi password to the ICT lab before she even knew her class timetable. Her first week on campus, she posed in front of a lecture hall for a lecture she was never planning to attend. 200 likes in one night. Just like that, boom, a star was born. But wait, stars don't just shine on their own. Chantal needed packaging, and packaging is expensive. So, Lady Chichi was born. Lady Chichi did not wear thrift jeans. No, she wore Gucci, even though the G was sometimes falling off. Ah, that girl could pose. Soon, Lady Chichi became the campus Beyoncé. If she coughed, Twitter got an audio. If she quarreled with her roommates, Instagram got a cryptic story. Some rats are jealous of cats. If she ate small rice and stew, Snapchat got filters. And men, bam, they lined up like they were waiting for Visa lottery. Boys in bands, sugar daddies with hot bellies, even pastor's sons sneaking out of choir practice, all knocking on her DM like Jehovah's Witnesses. If you wanted to win Chichi's heart, you had to check your bank account first. That was the unwritten constitution, and Chichi enforced it with presidential authority. One would bring her a new iPhone, another would sponsor her wigs. Someone else would pay her hotel getaways. And trust Lady Chichi, she made sure social media ate it all up. Her followers would go wild. Girls tagged their boyfriends with comments like, "See your mate." Meanwhile, her roommates were side-eyeing her from the corner of the hostel room. Anna, her closest friend, once said, "Chichi, this lifestyle, are you not afraid it will backfire one day?" Chichi just laughed, tossing her Brazilian weave like Jackie Appiah. Afraid of what? Babe, life is for enjoyment. Nobody carries GPA to heaven. Her philosophy was simple. Men were like ATMs. Punch in the right code, sweet words, small attention, one or two selfies together, and jackpot. What Chichi didn't know was that every swipe, every caption, every savage post she dropped was writing receipts for a future she wasn't ready to cash. But one day everything changed. It was an ATM lecture, and the presence of Chichi at that lecture alone was breaking news. But even then, instead of listening, she was sleeping while chewing gum. That was the day Brian Dylan Cooper walked into her life. Someone bumped her chair. She lifted her head, ready to scatter insults. But the moment her eyes landed on him, the world slowed down. Tall, caramel skinned, and fresh, but not the usual money miss road type Chichi was used to. This one carried something else, genuine vibes. From that day, the girl was whipped, love struck. Her socials, for the first time in history, weren't just handbags and aesthetics, they were about love. On Instagram, Chichi and Brian sharing suya under the streetlights. Caption, "My heart beats forever." Twitter, "Who needs to buy when you have Killy and true love?" Facebook, "He's not just Brian, please. Say his name well, Brian Dylan Cooper. Her followers fainted. Comments poured in. Hey, our slave queen don't fall in love, oh. God, when? The strange thing was that he wasn't rolling in Ben's money or buying her iPhones like the others. But somehow it didn't matter. Gigi followed him everywhere, to the library, lectures, late night strolls, and even on market runs. Her friends noticed. Anna asked one day, Chichi, this Brian boy, are you serious? Chichi, blushing behind her lashes, said, I beg, leave me. This one is different. And please, not just Brian. I've told you several times, it's Brian Dylan Cooper. But the moment Mama Brian's eyes landed on her, Wahala began. She squinted, scanned Chichi up and down like a customs officer checking contraband. Then she hissed, Jesu Christi, where did you find this one? She didn't stop there. Look at her nails. They are weapons of mass destruction. And her eyelashes are like tree shades. Finally, Mama Brian dropped the nuclear line. Brian, my son, if you love me, you'll stop seeing this masquerade. She said it right there in front of Chichi. Boom, just like that. Their love story scattered. Brian tried to protest, but he was a mama's boy. His mama coughed twice and his backbone dissolved. Family loyalty trumped Chichi's fine face. Her heart shattered like a cheap screen protector in their living room that day. But instead of drowning in hostile tears, Chichi did what every 21st century slay queen does. She went live, camera on, mascara running like rainy season gutter. Her caption read, Men are heartbreak factories. I swear, na better wig I for buy with that love. For 2 weeks, Chichi went off all her socials. No pictures, no captions, no lives. People began to whisper, She's finished. Mama Brian has humbled her. But Chichi, ah, she was not done, no. She was only recharging. Like MTN Network, she disappeared small but came back with full bars. Her return was legendary. First post, Chichi was in a red bodycon dress, posing by the poolside, champagne in hand, nails glittering like disco lights. Her caption read, When life feels heartbreak, upgrade your wig length. Hashtag unbothered queen. The internet went mad. Comments flying, followers multiplying. From that day, Heartbreak turned Chichi into a prophetess of the women's liberation movement. She opened Instagram Live and sounded like a revival preacher. If you are dating a man with a mother, my dear, scatter their bond. Neutralize mommy. Let him tattoo your name on his chest and forget his own surname. She crowned herself chairwoman of the Pepperdam gang. Her sermons were savage. All sisters-in-law are enemy agents. Don't trust their fake hugs. That's one that's smiling. She's only giving family WhatsApp group live updates. Neutralize her. Spoil her market. If possible, replace her perfume with insecticide. Before long, Chichi's Pepperdam conferences became law. Girls packed into hostel rooms, pen and paper in hand, nodding like law students, writing down notes while listening to her lives. Her mantra shook the walls. Submission is expired software. Delete it. Return aura for aura. If he raises his voice, raise your hand. If he cheats, cheats louder. You are not a doormat. You are the queen of the palace. She shook the internet. Boyfriends panicked. Husbands feared. The men were grumbling, but powerless, because Chichi's gospel was clear and catchy. Men are debit cards with legs. Their job is to fund the soft life. After all, is it not women that carry pregnancy for 9 months? The years went by fast. After school, reality didn't even wait for her to remove her graduation gown. Adulthood greeted Chichi with a dirty slap. Job hunting in Accra humbled her quickly. She was submitting CVs like raffle tickets, and interview panels looked at her like, So, why should we employ you when 200 others are begging for the same job? Eventually, she got an entry level role. Nothing fancy. Her salary finished faster than MTN data. That was how Chichi tasted adulthood raw. ECG bills, rent, Accra traffic, office politics. Suddenly, a men are cancelled agenda couldn't put food on her table. Weekends were for laundry, market runs, and stolen naps, not Twitter spaces or Instagram rants. Life press reset on chairman of Pepperdam gang. One by one, her viral posts vanished. She deleted them herself, laughing at her own madness back then. Because life didn't just make Chichi grow, it matured her. She learned that peace tastes sweeter than drama. Slowly, she started to focus on building her career. Years later, at a company retreat at Royal Senchi, it happened. HR called it team bonding. In her mind, it was just another boring trip. But that's where she met Benji, the son of the company's owner. Tall, calm, polite, pure chocolatey goodness. The type that pulled out chairs, not drama. She didn't even know men like that existed. They connected instantly. Nights under the Akosombo sky turned into talks about family, dreams, and life. Months later, he introduced her to his family. Benji's people were pure sugar. He was the only boy out of four sisters. They welcomed Chichi with open arms. His mother, Mama Benji, became her number one fan, always calling her my daughter, warning Benji, marry this girl, oh, if you waste time, another man will take her. So it wasn't a shock when at Mama's 60th birthday, with family, friends, and a live band singing Sweet Mother, Benji went down on one knee. Mama screamed, crying, calling it the best birthday gift ever. Days later, Chichi broke her social media silence with one post. Her engagement photo with the caption, God sends me one of his angels. Chichi thought she was starting season 24 of her life, but unknowingly, she had just reopened season 3. Within hours of Chichi's sweet engagement post, Wahala woke up from sleep. Her old ghost refused to stay buried. Twitter archaeologists dug them up sharp sharp. Remember when Lady Chichi said, if your boyfriend's mom is alive, eliminate her from the picture? The internet was on fire. Threads, memes, compilations, every corner of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube had one clip or another of her old rants. And in the middle of the storm, poor Benji, they mocked him, calling him a simp of the year. But Benji wasn't the social media type. He barely opened WhatsApp, so Chichi consoled herself that he would not find out. She said to herself, girl, relax. It'll blow over. Ghanaians have short memories. By tomorrow, you just will land. But tomorrow never came because here she was, standing at her own wedding reception, frozen like a statue. At the reception, when the lights had dimmed and the projector came on, the guests had clapped, thinking it was a cute photo slideshow of the lovebirds. Instead, boom, Lady Chichi's greatest hits started playing. Men are nothing but commodity. Use them and dump them. Don't forget to poison his mother the first chance you get. Your boyfriend's sisters, insects. Spray them before they multiply. The hall erupted. There were gasps and nervous laughter. Benji's sister set up faces hard as granite. Mama Benji grabbed her leaves, pressed her chest and muttered, hey, so I used my own hand to carry a viper into my house? Chichi's mother almost disappeared into her chair, shaking her head. We sold your father's land for this? For public disgrace? The memes grew sharp. Oh, so it is this girl. God forbid. This girl can kill. Chichi, eyes blazing, sprinted forward in her wedding gown. Turn it off! Turn it off! She screamed, yanking the projector cord from the wall. But the damage had already been done. Benji stood there, staring at her like he was seeing her for the first time. The man who once looked at her like his crown jewel now looked at her like poison served in a golden cup. Without a word, he turned and walked away. Benji, Benji, please, she cried, stumbling after him, her dress heavy with shame. It's not what it looks like. That was the old me. But her voice was swallowed by the whispers, the laughter and the disgrace echoing behind her. Chichi's marriage had almost ended before it even began. Inside Benji's family home, the silence was heavier than a funeral drum. Benji would not speak. He would not even look at her. The honeymoon trip had been cancelled. She wept until her eyes puffed like boiled yam. She begged Benji. She begged her sisters. And at last, she knelt before Mama Benji herself. Her voice cracked. Mama, please forgive me. I was young, foolish, and hungry for likes and attention. Please, don't let me lose the best thing that has ever happened to me. Please. Mama Benji studied her for a long time. Then she called her son to sit. Her words carried the weight of years. My son, if you love this woman, I'll not stand in your way. Yes, she made mistakes. Who amongst us has not? What she said was shameful, but every tongue has spoken what the heart later regretted. Trust will take time, but with patience, you can rebuild it. The Chichi I met was a sweet girl. She may have been Lady Chichi online, but in this house, she was respectful. Everyone deserves a second chance. Even serpents shed their skin, you know. Benji sat, torn between anger and love. Slowly, his hand reached for hers. He stayed. He chose to mend what her words had almost broken. But months later, when whispers still followed her like shadows, Chichi did something braver than all her slave queen days combined. She went live. The world tuned in. Her voice trembled, but her words cut deep. Hi, fam. I know it's been a very long time, but I have something to say to you. The internet never forgets. What you post in your youth can return years later to build or to destroy you. I learned it the hard way. Don't let anger, likes, and followers push you to say what your future self cannot defend. This is my truth. This is my warning. The netizens were shaken. Some mocked her, but many listened. Parents quoted her name in warnings. Lectures repeated her words in classrooms. And among the new generation of slave queens and keyboard warriors, Chichi, the former chairwoman of the Pepper Dem gang story, became a proverb. Post today, pay tomorrow. Hi, fam. Click the link on the right to dive into yet another captivating tale. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Until next time, it's bye from us at Apenthene African Stories.